Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is a dub. Finally get to say that. It's game 2 of the preseason. Still counts. First dub of the year. That game was way more entertaining than what we got in game 1. And a lot of it comes from AJ Greer just jumping into the spotlight. There were some people, when I mentioned Greer in the training camp battles video, where I kind of mentioned the waivers being a tricky situation with Studnicka and Greer, and some people were kind of like, Greer? Really? This is who Greer is. He's looked really good in the minors. He hasn't been able to stick in the majors, but he really looked good tonight. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We'll talk about some of it, but definitely an exciting guy as far as early preseason goes. Monty did say, I say all this stuff at the beginning of the video when I'm supposed to say it like at the end, but it is what it is. Like, comment, subscribe, nailed it. Monty did point out that obviously he's not penciling anyone in until we get deeper and deeper into camp when there's still 10 days, 11 days left, whatever it is. But he did mention that if the season started tomorrow, Greer would be in the lineup, which how could he not be, right? After the game he just had. But this was a way more fun game than what we got before. Swayman gets a start. He would actually play the whole game. I'm pretty surprised about that. Frederick, Coyle, Smith was our top line. One of those guys showed up to play. The other two did not. Studnicka, he goes again. He's going to center the second line. He improved. He looked better this game than he did last game, which was, good enough for me right now. We do get our first look at Strawman on Lindholm's right. And we finally get to watch my boy Merkulov. He disappointed. Halak is going to be a net for the Rangers, and then it's going to be Domingue halfway through. Let's talk about this game just a little bit, real quick. We'll talk about it real quick. Puck drops, and it's an entertaining game right off the rip. It gets chippy. Everyone's getting in each other's faces. A little scoring opportunities left and right. And 7 minutes in, we are going to have a repeat of another trend. So last game, we had the trend of shooting a lot and not scoring, and getting scored on pretty quickly after scoring a goal. That's stuff that plagued us last year, and it was the same in Game 1 of the preseason. Now, in Game 2 of the preseason, the first thing that I go, oh, we're doing this again, is Swayman mishandling the puck. I bet he's improved at handling the puck. I know they pointed it out to him. They must have. But he makes a weird decision, comes behind the net, throws the puck around into a crowded side of the boards. The puck gets collected. Trocheck gets mauled as he's coming up towards the center point, really, up on that blue line. He's just getting harassed, but he's keeping the puck. That's something he's very good at. Coyle-esque. Dishes it over to Fox, who has a little bit of space in front of him, and as he gets midway through that right circle, that is a sneap right over the, it almost looked like it went over his head. It wasn't. Over the shoulder of Swayman. It's 1-0, 7 minutes into the game. A score has meant nothing to me in these games. I mean that. So when we get scored against, I don't feel the same way I would normally in a game. I'm just kind of like, okay. And I try to look at individual play. This game had a ton of individual play that you could like. This goal boiled down to a really, really good shot from a really good player, good puck management from a good player, and us turning the puck over in our own defensive end. There wasn't enough to dissect there as far as actual defensive structure, whereas Swayman just kind of turned the puck over. So that's a trend to keep an eye on, though, that I am hoping that he's gotten a lot better about that this year. A minute after that, Toporowski, this is going to be the big thing he does all game. We didn't see a ton of him this game. He's the bottom six is so difficult. When you have these young guys in, there's going to be pockets where they just disappear, entire lines disappear, because there's just not enough talent to boost them. Where if Coyle had been your center and Toporowski was on his left or something, then you would just see him more because Coyle's going to get the puck. He's going to get the puck to people. You understand what I'm saying. But about a minute after that goal scored, a bobbling puck gets into the slot of the Rangers zone as everyone's going into the zone. Toporowski gets behind the defense and battles really well, somehow stays on his skates, looks like he's about to fall over, but gives himself like 6 feet of a chance of a breakaway. And gets stoned by Halak. It was a nice glove save on that. That's the kind of stuff that he can do. That's the stuff you'd like to see from him. But he really didn't have much else going this game. 3:26 left in the period. Steen called for tripping because Adam Fox can't stop twirling around. Honestly, if you stay in one place and you keep spinning and eventually get taken down, it's kind of, for me personally, I'm like, okay, buddy. It's like when you're playing NHL, like you're playing Chell against any of your boys, and you get into the zone, you see him coming, you know he's going to go for the poke, so you immediately hit the spin button, so he goes right for the legs. Yeah, that's how it felt. Anyway, we kill it, 1-0, going into the second. And 5 minutes in, Lindgren plays a little too loose with the puck, and he was pissed, and rightfully so. Studnicka comes into the defensive zone. Lindgren's passing by Halak to get right back in that corner, and Studnicka just goes right through him, right? And he spins and takes the weight off. It doesn't crush the guy, but the stick goes up high, gets Lindgren, knocks him over, puck gets bounced away. McLaughlin comes in as that second wave, hits the puck back into the corner where Stud grabs it, has the foresight, the wherewithal to whip it into the slot, and there is AJ Greer for his first. He's going to collect, and this is top shelf magic. It's cheddar, it's minty, it is just fantastic. High corner, beats Halak, no chance, and we have a 1-1 ball game just like that. McLaughlin, you love that secondary pressure. Studnicka, you love the forecheck, even though a penalty probably could have been called there. It's preseason. We're going to get away from that. Trust me, the Rangers got plenty of stuff in their favor for the rest of the game. I'm not talking about refs in the preseason, though, even though I just did. 2 minutes in, or 2 minutes later, I mean, shot from the left point. Vesey, whatever his freaking name is. He's been on every team in the league at this point. In the slot, battling, falling over, still manages to direct this puck on net, goes between Swayman's legs. Swayman's got it, but he doesn't pinch, and it's just sitting behind him, like at the bottom of that pyramid, just sitting behind him. And eventually Lafreniere is able to get his stick in there, shove the puck in. Vesey, I don't know why I have such a problem with Vesey sometimes. That's the name. Shoves the puck in, it's 2-1. 2 minutes after we scored our goal. That trend's continuing. You love to see that. I don't know if I can do another season of every single game we score a goal, and within 2 to 3 minutes they score a goal. I don't know if I can do it. I might actually die. I might. 10:27 left. Robertson holding. Power play for us. No Dyson. Not good. It looked terrible. Doesn't matter. Moving on. 4:38 left. Aslin's going to go for holding. It's basically the only time you would have heard his name most of the game, honestly. Big kill there. We're going to end the period 2-1. You feel good, though. Individual play, again, has been good. Greer has been getting better with every shift. Studnicka has been getting better with every shift. Coyle has looked fantastic throughout as far as possession goes. Steen, you're still waiting to wake up a little bit, although he did look better this game than he did last. So 2 periods in, you're feeling pretty solid about it. Third period. Apparently at the end of the second, I guess I tuned out a little too quick, and I can't, with the setup right now, I can't go back and replay stuff. So Greer, I guess, slashed somebody. I'm going to call bullshit because I want to, and I don't remember what happened. But he slashed someone, so he's getting 2 minutes to start the third. We do kill it. 3 minutes into that third period, though, it's a 3-on-1 due to a bad turnover by the Rangers. And Coyle has a perfect pass on this 3-on-1. He's on the right side. He passes it to Merkulov, who, great pass, has it on the stick, beats Domingue low, gets right under him, and hits the far post and bounces right back out, and then we just could not manage to smash it in. Again, one of those things that you have a 2-on-1, you have a brilliant scoring chance, and you somehow manage to fuck it up. Every team does that, and everyone thinks their team does it the most. I get that. But if you watched all year last year, and you watched all these videos all year last year, you know how ferociously often the Bruins do that kind of shit. And so I'm going to believe that we do it the most. To make up for it, though, Kravtsov's going to go the other way and go bar and out on a breakaway, so I will take it. It's still 2-1. Discipline is on full display tonight, though. Riley retaliates on a Ranger hit. Just blatantly. Two-handed slash. He gets called. The refs have been doing the whole we'll only take one of you, and it just kept being a Bruin for the later half of this game. But that's a well-deserved penalty every time. Riley, I did not want to see that from him. He had a good game, don't get me wrong. But last year, we talked so much about how this guy would not stay out of the box. I can't do another season of Riley stick infractions. Just brutal. It is going to work out in our favor, though, so you can't take it. Maybe Riley's galaxy brain in this, but it is a block shot by Lindholm, and Kapanen just bounces on it immediately. Pounces on it immediately. Takes it to the left and skates it out of the zone. And Steen manages to get away. A lot of contact in the neutral zone. His guy falls over. He gets away. It's a 2-on-1. Kapanen with a beautiful pass. And Steen, not the best game, but there was no... He nailed this. Domingue did not have a chance on this. So that's a shorty. It's 2-2. Huge goal. Steen needed it. You could see everyone on the bench is just like... It feels like to a lot of these guys, these games matter. And for guys like Frederick and Smith, and I mean, Lindholm looked really good tonight, but you would have expected him to have this attitude. Not a big deal. It's a preseason game. But it's Frederick and Smith who need it to matter. And Coyle could have just been chilling. And Coyle was great. So it's really weird to see some of the veterans doing that half-speed thing, and you think they're better, you know they're better. And then the young guys come in, and they look better. They look better than the vets. And in Frederick's case, you can't allow that right now. Frederick's going to have a longer leash, but I don't know. Not a great showing. We finished that off by killing the rest of the penalty. 6 minutes left. Coyle, just an awesome play in the neutral zone. He gets off the right wall. Nice little nifty, kind of a fake to get the defense to move one way. Grabs the puck, pushes into the zone, and he goes to the left side. So he's on his offhand. He forces a pass back the other way. It doesn't get through. No chance actually created or anything like that. With the new system, I wonder if Monty's going to lean shoot versus pass. I mean, every coach will tell you situational, but I am sure coaches have preferences on this. This was going to be a backhanded chance. I get why he tried to force the pass. It's not a habit I want them to get into. We talked again all season last year. We have enough finishing ability, we think, to not need to force the 2-on-1, the pass across every time. We used to lose the puck all the time with that. This was a situation where he probably made the right play because, again, backhand, awkward angle, all that. But you just have a moment of going, can we not do that, please? Period's going to end. 2-2, 3 periods gone. We're going overtime, and it's a $112 of back and forth. Hard drive by Studnicka to the net. Save made. It allows a 2-on-1 the other way, which gets broken up, and then the puck gets flung back up to Studnicka, who's on the right side. He takes the zone. He pushes the puck. Perfect pass under the stick of the defender. Pushes the puck over to Greer, who goes post, glove side, and in. It's just a gorgeous shot. That's 2 goals for him on the game. He looked great. I'm telling you, every shift, you heard his name, and it seemed like he was getting faster throughout the game. Really impressed with Greer. My first note in the game notes is like, this is why I mentioned him. He has these abilities. Now, I don't know what he can actually do at the NHL level. I really don't. I'm not going to tell you I know. But this is a guy that I don't want to lose through waivers because I think he's going to be a really good depth option. And with a team who has a lot of guys battling for that bottom 6, if you have a guy who's a step above all those right away, I mean, that's important. That's important to have. Other game notes. Nice boost for Stud tonight. I thought he looked better as the game went along. Again, the first 10 minutes, you were like, dude, he got to be more. But he played heavy. He got into the dirty areas. His passing was crisp. I really liked what I saw. Swayman, not perfect by any means, but it's a really good start for him, I think, for the most part. He had made some huge saves, especially late in the game, to keep us in it. He didn't have to make a ton. I mean, there was plenty of shots, 27, 28 shots on him, I believe. But a lot of them were pretty standard. He has good positioning. But he really did have a solid game. I was surprised they had him play the entire time. Nosek and Foligno should be feeling nervous. They should be. Nosek, I've been a Nosek fan. I was disappointed by last year, and I was hoping he would come into his first game in Game 1 looking better, and he didn't. Foligno, same thing. I don't know if I actually believed he'd look better, but he didn't look good. There's just youth, cheap youth that want to play in our bottom 6 and potentially have the ability to, and these guys are not cheap youth. I mean, Nosek's not making a ton of money, but Foligno is. It does not look good for them right now. Still early, but does not look good for them right now. Not a lot to say about Merkulov, McLaughlin, Steen, Koppinen, Toporowski. Some of those names I expected more of, and guys, you're starting to become familiar with some of those names as well. For those of you who like aren't super into the prospects, and for those of you who are into it, obviously, I'm not really referring to you when I'm saying you're learning about these guys. But there's not a lot to say about them, unfortunately, because there's just not a lot of visibility on that ice tonight. They didn't have a lot going for them. Frederick and Smith were also kind of bleh. I mean, Frederick had a couple heavy hitting moments, but that's about it. So rather disappointing for some guys individually. But on the other end, when the spotlight shines as bright as it did, on Greer, on Lindholm, Riley, Strawman looked good. Let's talk about Strawman for a second. Strawman is a puck-moving defenseman who's not great in his own zone, but he's an NHL defenseman. And I am perfectly happy signing him as a depth right D option, probably. There is an issue that when McAvoy and Grizz are back, we have like 9 defensemen at that point. So that would have to get worked out, but it doesn't have to get worked out right away. I am super comfortable grabbing him for just injury depth, honestly. I like him. I think he belongs on an NHL squad. I think he knows he belongs on an NHL squad. And he looked decent tonight. I didn't think he was blowing my mind, but he looked good. Lindholm, I'm really excited about Lindholm. He looked really good. Riley and Carlo both looked good. Carlo in the beginning had some real valleys, but he started to settle a little bit more. He does look slower than I'm used to seeing. And that's saying a lot because he's not the fastest guy to start with, but he does not look very quick right now. He looked, in fact, slower. But again, it's his first game of the season. I'm not going to judge too much. Callahan and Carrick, the third pair tonight, were atrocious. They were so bad. Callahan, in particular, was drowning out there. That was really bad. That was a bummer because I want to see more from him. Again, early on, they might get another game, but really, really, really bad for them. All right, guys, that does it for me. Another basic preseason video. We're going to get back into the skits. We're going to get back into all that stuff with the season. I'm still getting a lot of stuff settled. This has been a weird week back from the trip and getting back to work, all that good stuff. So we are going to get back to the skits. I promise you that, because I think that's 80% of the reason people watch these videos. But hey, another game in the books. We're creeping towards October 12th. We're pumped. And some of the young guys look really good. We have more questions to answer. The pod, I think we're recording Thursday, so go Bees. Go Bees!